What screams I'm very insecure? Constantly wedging humble bragging into conversations. Automatically assuming negative intent, e.g., you friend didn't pick your call? Fuck her, she's trying to avoid me, I don't care about her anyway. I mostly see this at work. / people who are in upper management and treat people like garbage just because they can. / being unnecessarily mean, rude or bitter to people. / treating new employees like garbage just because you're threatened they might take your job someday. This is a self-roast, but I think I degrade myself just to hear others deny it. Is that insecure? I do this and I definitely think it comes from a desire to get ahead of it. Like, if I put myself down first, then how badly can it hurt if someone agrees? It's created a cycle of almost compulsive negative self-talk that I'm trying to deprogram. Trying to dominate conversations, not to be confused with just being a charismatic person. Lifestyle creep. Constant fishing for compliments when around people, e.g., I'm so chunky, as a direct way to get someone to tell you that you look great. When people have and insist on constantly checking on their so via some tracking app on their phone. It's one thing to have it and use it in case of emergency, but using it while out with your friends to make sure he's actually at work is creepy and super insecure. I've found that a lot of people on Twitter that feel the need to post about how great of a person they are and they have nothing but good intentions are usually the most toxic people I've seen. I used to be very insecure, so I'll go from my own experience. Lying about something to seem cool. It's very obviously a signal of insecurity because they don't like who they are now. Clicking on this post to see if any of the top comments are things you do. When you question yourself, do they actually like me or are they pretending to? Or when you think you're gonna bother other people if you talk to them. Edit. Jesus Christ, I wasn't expecting so many replies. I hope you all are doing great. In college I had a friend who seemed to believe that everyone in our friend group was just pretending to like him or just tolerating him. He seemed to believe this because occasionally he would pick up on subtle signs of irritation towards him. What he didn't understand is that even if you are good friends with everyone in a group, that doesn't mean that no one in the group will find you annoying from time to time. Just for him. One day I pulled him aside and got out a pen and paper. I created what I called the tilt web. I wrote everyone in this friend group's name on the paper, forming a circle of names. Then I proceeded to draw arrows between names. I said each arrow represents that the person who the arrow is pointing to is sometimes slightly annoyed by the person the arrow is drawn from. All 10 people on the group except one had at least one arrow to and at least one arrow from them. The problem with this kind of insecurity is that they won't believe someone if they are simply told that they are fine. They understand that if someone doesn't really care about them, it's still a lot easier to tell them that they are fine, even if they aren't. Now that we have both graduated, he mentioned that he hasn't forgotten me drawing that web and that it was a lot more meaningful to him than me just telling him that he is fine. Just not shutting up about yourself. Constantly lifting yourself up and comparing yourself to others, while pushing them down. Also, constantly putting yourself down and comparing yourself to others. I didn't ask to be called out this loudly. Frown. All those people who post on Facebook those quotes that are like, "Don't worry about those who talk behind your back, they're behind you for a reason," or they tag themselves into any and every place including the docs/hospital/somewhere personal. Then when someone asks if they're okay, they reply with, "Don't ask hunzucks." So basically, people who live their lives through very active social media, as I suppose I'm trying to say. People who always have to one-up you in everything. If you tell a story, they have a better one. If you buy something expensive, they have to be something even more expensive. Some people's whole life is trying to win some non-existent competition. Bragging about things not even in your control, like your parents' wealth. One-upping people constantly in conversations, or bragging about how much better you can do something than others can, which is a much better comment than yours was. My school is full of kids who one-up each other on how little sleep they get. Women that guard their men like a solitaire. I was leaving an abusive relationship. My friend offered me a place to stay. The hitch was if she wasn't there and just her husband was, I had to leave. I got a hotel room. Not dealing with that. Being unnecessarily mean-spirited to people. Had a guy threatening to kick the shit out of me if I told anyone he was dyslexic. Guy spelled things out for you. Fair play. People whose self-esteem is so low that they can't stand the sight of people with high self-esteem, so they will try to break down anyone they perceive as more successful than them. When a group of this type of people comes together, a major crab bucket mentality arises and they will target people perceived as highly competent or successful for bullying, gossip, false rumors, and other things that should have been wiped out after elementary school. People who feel the need to judge everyone in a negative light and who only want to see the worst in others so they can feel better about themselves. It just shows how unhappy they truly are. Ironically, people like this also feel like they are judged unfairly and constantly by the world. My ex-fiance was like that. Homie could make anything bad about how the world is out to get him. I get robbed at knife point and it's about how he was late to work because I couldn't come pick him up fast enough. So clearly the world hates him. Fuck that guy. When you're reading an AskReddit thread, to make sure you're not making it too obvious. Oftentimes, people don't know the difference between telling it like it is and just being flat out mean. People who tell it like it is only give their opinion when it is warranted because they would want someone to tell them the truth instead of dancing around it. However, some can cross this line and just be straight up rude, while using this same reasoning. Those who tell it like it is are secure, those who are unnecessarily mean are insecure. Not exactly a direct answer to your question, but I've always thought this and wanted to share. Edit, thank you for silver. Bullying people. You don't try to bring other people down if you truly feel good about yourself. Dismissing people before they dismiss you. Joint Facebook profiles. Don't you bring my grandpa and grandma into this. People over 65 get a pass. I bought a mattress the other day and the salesman had a chin strap and blue flames tattooed up his arms. When I finished checking out, he came up behind my mom and I and said, very seriously, just so you know, people call me firearms. Later that same day, my dad and I were in the parking lot at Lowe's and a guy with spiked hair pulled into the parking lot in a convertible blasting Crazy Bitch by Buckcherry. I like to think he and firearms were separated at birth. Edit, I am from the Jersey Shore. While I think that should clarify some things, this is douchey behavior even for here. Oh, why do they call you that? Be as sincere as possible and make him spell out every element of it until eventually you go, oh, I get it, because a firearm is a word for a kind of gun, but what you've done is got a picture of fire on your arm, so it's like a kind of pun. I don't really like puns. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. We have new videos every day. Here's a meme for you to enjoy. Scene, gets a notification on phone. XGF, who's chatting to you now? Me, it's a game notification. Me, goes to shower. Me, comes back to find GF going through every message, email and WhatsApp. Does that scream I'm insecure? Edit 1, thanks for the responses. I got out of that relationship last year and I'm dating someone of a far better mind and someone who trusts me. Edit 2, I coded my phone, she figured it out. Then I used my fingerprint. Edit 3, my ex was very insecure and would often follow and check my every move. Edit 4, I will respond as best I can. Does that scream I'm insecure? Among other things. Posting what you're up to every day on social media, or the vague I'm so upset right now status where they're praying that someone asks what's wrong. If you want to say what's bothering you, do it. Don't clickbait your own status. Post, I'm so upset right now. Good friend checking in, everything okay? You need to talk? Them, no but I'll be okay. Damn you attention seeker. BF, alright I'm going to work babe. GF, you better not be fucking with bitches at work. Incapable of self-reflection. The more you talk about how good you are in bed and how many women you've fucked, the less I believe you. I am terrible in bed and have fucked a grand total of 0 women. Wow, you must be a sex god. Windows XP. Saying I'm so random or I'm so funny on a regular basis. Using your internal fear as a reason not to do something. Hate your job? You don't apply for any others because you're scared of being rejected, or that you don't deserve a better job. In a terrible relationship? You stay because you're scared of being alone. That kind of insecurity is the worst emo because it affects nearly everyone. I only get along with guys, other girls hate me. Smiley face, zany face, all girls are drama. You know, I'm not mathematician here, but even I can see a common denominator. I'm not mathematician here, but even I can see a common denominator. Fuck that's good. I came here to find out what I need to stop doing. Edit, holy shit, my first silver, and my first gold. Insulting random people's physical appearance. A password made up on only lowercase letters. Immediately getting defensive whenever you try to help them. Being overly nice and being a yes man to make other people happy. Also having no opinions. Dude, I just woke up. Banning Winnie the Pooh because someone said you looked like him. Can't handle being told they're wrong or ignorant about something. There, how dare you? You think you're better than me? Fuck you. Lying about your opinions and views to fit in while canceling somebody who thinks the exact same as you but chooses to express it. Anything Eleanor does in the good place, so well done. A huge lifted truck without any discernible work purpose being extremely aggressive in traffic. Banning a Disney character from your country just because a university student said it looks like you. Truck nuts. I want to get a big truck and put those eyelashes on the front headlights and then the nuts on the back. Really make people question their trucksuality. I imagine there are some homotrucksuals out there who've yet to be awakened. Rolling coal. For those like myself who didn't have a clue this was a thing, here's the wiki explanation. Rolling coal is the practice of modifying a diesel engine to increase the amount of fuel entering the engine in order to emit large amounts of black or gray sooty exhaust fumes into the air. It also may include the intentional removal of the particulate filter. It costs money to modify, it shortens the life of the vehicle, costs more in fuel, and is environmentally unfriendly. Reading this thread hoping nothing applies to you. Grabbing your girl tighter as you walk into public places, followed by awful looks to anyone who makes eye contact. Living in the suburbs and getting a giant lifted pickup truck for the sole purpose of intimidating other drivers and driving like a jackass. People that modify their shitty lemon of a car to be the loudest piece of shit in a 5-mile radius. Not being able to walk anywhere alone. I am not talking about walking alone at night, but if you are not able to walk to the bathroom or another class alone, you have a problem. Me when I scream I'm very insecure. Insecurity can manifest itself in many ways, including but not limited to being shy, not introverted, consistently wearing clothes that conceal the body, like wearing the same jumper to school every day year-round, wearing a hairstyle that conceals the face/eyes, looking down/away from people, not participating in social media and/or group conversations because of fear of rejection, always being exceptionally nice, or being exceptionally cunty, particularly around things they are sensitive about, like if they feel inferior about their grades they will slag off other poor performers, or they may try to drag others down with them by general bullying, depending on what their personality is like. Not all insecure people are bullies, we are all insecure about something at some time in our lives. NBD, really. Posting photos with your so on Facebook every day claiming how madly in love you are and how perfect each other is. Being unable to sit in silence with others without talking, even if there's nothing to talk about. Making small gestures and then constantly seeking validation and reassurance that you are appreciated, even if there's no reason to think you aren't appreciated. Constantly asking if someone is mad at you, even when they have told you several times that they are not mad at you. Trying overly hard to be funny/likable/smart around people who already know you well just to seek attention and validation. Excessive selfies. The more staged/constructed they are, the worse off the person is. I even know people who don't think they look right without a filter. They don't get sad and FD up, that is. Jealousy. When you complain to a waiter/server to impress your date. The photo in my passport. Unfortunately, speaking from experience, not even applying for certain jobs because the voice in the back of my mind keeps saying you'll never be good at it. There's tons of people better than you. People who constantly tell stories to make themselves seem real tough or badass. Yeah, Dad, that's really awesome that you kicked some guy's ass when you were in the Marines 40 years ago. A constant need for affirmation. No joke, most people have a habit of listing their insecurities in the first few lines they will talk to you. If someone feels the need to describe themselves after they meet you, it's a very safe bet everything they list is an insecurity. Well, I'm a really nice person, I'm really smart, etc. I've noticed some people make jokes and immediately look to others for approval laughs. I've noticed I do this. Lol. Isn't that what you do when you tell a joke in a group? See if other people found it funny? Jenna Marbles' dog Kermit. They argue against your grammar, semantics, or micro details, rather than the point you were obviously trying to make. You showed up to work an hour late. No, I didn't, I was an hour and 4 minutes late. Don't you know the difference between 8 o'clock and 9:04? Oh shit, you sure put me in my place, Josh.